I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak with so many parliamentarians in a year that is critical to world development and gender equality. It's a bonus that you all happen to be thoughtful, strong, and influential women. And of course, it's wonderful to be in Africa, the continent of my birth, where I spent my formative years growing up in Ghana. I've been Chief of Staff to World Bank Group President Jim Yong King for almost 2 years. And during that time, for the first time in our bank history, we have 2 goals that shape our mission: ending extreme poverty by 2030 and boosting shared prosperity. To accomplish the first, we've committed to lowering the number of people living on less than $1.25 a day from about 12% of the world's population today to below 3% within 15 years. To accomplish the second goal of boosting shared prosperity, we need to ensure gains from economic growth accrue at a higher rate to the lower 40% of income earners in developing countries than the national rate. To reach these goals, we must accelerate economic growth and make it more inclusive, socially sustainable, and protect the environment. Now, there's a technical story about the factors necessary to achieve this growth, and a political story on how to get it done. On the technical side, gender equality is of critical importance. For example, our 2012 World Development Report concluded that gender-based inequality and discrimination reduce a country's ability to compete internationally. It also found that when empowered through education, mothers have healthier children, and when they have financial resources, they are more likely to invest in the next generation. There's no question then that lifting the constraints that hold women back, in addition to its moral necessity, is essential to ending poverty. Within the political narrative, 2015 is a critical moment, as Nevin Mimika, Silvana, Lakshmi, and others have noted. It's the year the international community concludes the Millennium Development Goals, which have helped drive significant progress in our mission to end poverty. It's also the year that we establish the Sustainable Development Goals, which will aim to achieve it. And it's the year that we gather here in the UN, under the leadership of the UN, in Addis Ababa in July, to agree on what is needed, including financing. Missing from these technical and political stories, however, is the human narrative of ending poverty. People who survive on less than $1.25 a day live an insecure, grinding existence. They often struggle to find calories and shelter, have little or no access to education and health, and are excluded from financial resources that can help them generate and save income. They find themselves in a position of desperation that they cannot escape without help from others, because the extreme poverty excludes them from opportunity. Dear colleagues, to many of you, parts of this story may sound familiar. Though today you're surrounded by dozens of other female parliamentarians, all of you have stood for and won elections in political cultures that are traditionally male. This is likely true whether you ran for office in Kigali or Kiev, Oslo, Odessa, or right here in Addis Ababa. The Interparliamentary Union and our host, the Women in Parliament Global Forum, tell us that less than 1 in 4 elected legislators globally is female. You're therefore a minority that does not traditionally have access to your present opportunities. This same research suggests that family support played a substantial role in your decision to run for office, and that despite your accomplishments, you likely continue to confront challenging expectations and constraints that your male colleagues do not. As a result, you understand viscerally what it means to be an outsider and the importance of support from others to your ability to grasp opportunity. This resonates with my own experience. Born in Ghana, I had the good fortune to be able to attend college in the United States. In my 20s, when my classmates were marrying, I faced a great deal of pressure to do the same, and I suspect many of you did as well, even from my parents. But my grandmother, an entrepreneurial woman with little formal education, told me not to listen. Finish your doctorate, she said. That's much more important than getting married right now. I'll make sure you're all right. Having built up a business that made her a very comfortable woman, my grandmother used her success to help me grasp opportunity. She gave me security, agency, and confidence, so I could follow my ambition and work to achieve my potential. Because of her, I finished my PhD and joined the World Bank Group. And though I continued to face obstacles, including 6 weeks of work travel less than a month after giving birth, my grandmother's support opened up a world of opportunity I could never have grasped on my own. These kinds of experiences shape all of us. They make us sensitive to the needs of those excluded from the mainstream, and they shape how we use our opportunity to help others. This is what makes all of you so essential to the mission to end extreme poverty. Because of your experience, you're sensitive to the obstacles of outsiders like women, ethnic minorities, or others traditionally excluded from the benefits of economic growth. And it shows in how you govern. For example, in Costa Rica, when women held more than 30% of seats in the legislature, parliamentarians passed a law providing free health care and education to adolescent mothers. In India, areas with local councils led by women have been found to have 62% more drinking water projects than areas with local councils led by men. And in Morocco, Rwanda, South Africa, and Timor-Leste, an increase in the number of female legislators has coincided with better laws for women related to inheritance, child support, domestic violence, and discrimination. By helping those with little power to help themselves, you've made important contributions to gender equality and health and sanitation, all of which play an important role in ending extreme poverty. But there's more for us to do together. Building better infrastructure like wells and toilets will make women safer and more able to attend school. Passing laws that eliminate restrictions on women's property ownership and eligibility for loans will empower them to start businesses. And ending child marriage and improving access to reproductive health care will increase girls' and women's opportunities to choose their own future. And as Carlos Lopez noted earlier, changes in labor market policy can make a significant difference in the opportunities for women. Just look around this room to see what girls and women can do when they have that choice. So whether you advocate for these changes in your national legislatures or international aid budgets, or encourage national officials to work with us on development projects, know that your efforts can make a real difference in ending extreme poverty. In October 2013, Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai visited the World Bank Group, only a year after Taliban gunmen nearly killed her with a bullet to the head for advocating for girls' education. Like Irina and countless others, I was inspired by her. During that year's annual meetings, she talked about her cause with President Kim, who is an infectious disease physician by training. She told him she no longer wanted to become a physician because she believed that she could have a bigger impact in politics. And I'm quoting her now. She said, "If I really speak from the heart, I think by becoming a doctor, I can help only a community, a small area." She explained that if someone is shot, I can only help him. But by becoming a politician, I can take action so that tomorrow the doctor will receive no such cases. This is my dream, to see no more patients. Through politics, she said, I can serve my whole country, be a doctor to the whole country. In closing, as we use our positions and influence to finalize the Sustainable Development Goals, end extreme poverty by 2030, and promote inclusive economic growth, these are words to remember. Let us all be doctors to cure the ills of poverty and inequality in the world. And let us be like my grandmother and help those who need our support to grasp the opportunity in life. Thank you very much.